The reason that I am engaged with the deep mythology that guides civilization is not because I decided that that is the most high impact course I could take. It's not like I said, well, that's at the root of everything, so I'm going to work at that. It's simply because the circumstances of my life, my history, the particular configuration of gifts that I have suit me to that work. And that work is one of the things that needs to be done. But I'm under no illusion that that's more important than the work that you're doing in Palestine, or that the work that maybe somebody who's got physical disabilities and their scope of work is just in one household. Any of these things have unforeseeable consequences years or decades or generations down the road. And there's part of me that understands crystal clear, like with crystal clarity, that if peace could happen in Palestine, then it would happen everywhere on earth. No one would have any excuse and be able to say, well, peace is impractical, peace is impossible, it couldn't happen. If it can happen there, it can happen anywhere. Therefore, if it does happen there, it will happen anywhere. And the entire cosmos will change. And that's true not only of Palestine, but of everything. Everything is a holographic microcosm of everything else. And I think this is important to unlearn the ideology of scale and impact and high leverage and all that way of thinking, because it gets in the way of what is actually the most effective thing that you could be doing right now, which again comes from other sources of knowledge than the mind, and I'm not anti-mind. I enjoy the mind. I like thinking. It's a lot of fun and it's useful, but it's not actually where decisions come from. It can feed decisions, but it's not where they really come from. They need to come from the heart. They need to come from the blood. They need to come from the bones, the gut, and we all have that compass. We all have that source of knowledge, but sometimes we second guess ourselves, we doubt ourselves, we deny the validity of that knowledge because there's some story running that says, well, what you're doing isn't making any difference, that what you're doing is futile, because what does it matter, in the face of climate change? What does it matter in the face of AI catastrophe, or nuclear war or anything else? What does your work matter if it's just in one little corner of the world, if you're just working in one prison, or you're just working in one community or one neighborhood or one ecosystem? One doesn't even have to be a big ecosystem, in one little corner of the world. Like, we have this very noxious ideology that says it doesn't matter and that you're not important, which isn't to say you're more important than anybody else, but you're freaking important, like, own that and trust the knowledge that is unveiled when we unlearn these noxious programs that keep us passive and small.